Hi, in this video I'll be talking about how you can manage your time working a full-time job and studying French 5 hours a day. So a lot of people have reached out to me on Facebook, on Telegram, on WhatsApp and various other platforms asking how do you manage your time? Anubhav, a lot of my time is going in my job. My job comes in the way of my French studies. So how do I carve out those 4 to 5 hours per day and ace the TEF Canada exam in 9 to 12 months? So I decided that I'll first tackle this issue, and to do this I'll not only make an explainer but also take you through my day about how I used to manage my time when I was studying French. Of course, for a very good period of time there was a pandemic, so I was not going to office every day. But now the situation has changed and a lot of you are going to office physically, are commuting every day to your office. I know that. So I've made a video keeping that in mind. So I'll take you through bit by bit every part of my day, how I start my morning till the time how I complete my day. Now before we start my day, I just wanted to explain how I allocate those 5 hours of French studies. So if you're a beginner, especially then, I suggest highly that of those 5 hours, a good amount of time you decide on your own. I think 3 hours is a very good period of time to devote only to listening practice. That is when you immerse yourself in French audios and you try to understand, try to make sense of what the characters are talking about or what is being talked about using some vocabulary or using some basic understanding of the French language that you already have. And if you are just a beginner, I highly recommend that you start with very basic stuff, which is supposed to be for an A1 speaker. But if you have already reached that A to B1 level, I recommend that you start using more complicated material. And 3 hours of your 5-hour period of French can easily be devoted to that, because that would really help you in kind of clearing away your listening problems and also speak better when you finally start speaking, which should happen within the first or the second month maximum. The remaining 2 hours can be devoted to active French learning, which is what I call my focus block. So I believe that you should have 2 hours of focus block wherein you focus only on French. It doesn't matter that you're listening to a podcast with transcripts or you're reading a book or you're just going through some grammar exercises. Whatever stage of French you are in and whatever you think is your need, you need to devote exclusively focused time on French for 2 hours. And I highly recommend that you do it right at the beginning of the day before leaving for office, because that is the time when your brain is kind of fresh. It has all the energy just because you've just woken up. And also you'll get done with the most heavy part of the day, which is focus block of 2 hours. So it's around 8 a.m. in the morning when I'm recording this. I'll be showing you how to go through a 2-hour study session. There is a stupid election going on in Delhi right now, so perhaps you can hear the noises outside. But regardless, we'll continue with our schedule because we decided. Now I'm done with my 2 hours of study session. I'm feeling very happy and very satisfied that I've done the heaviest part when it comes to my French learning for the day, and I've kind of learned a lot because I was focusing really well during those 2 hours of focus time. Now between the focus time and the time when you finally start your commute, be it through car, because personally I travel in the Delhi metro. So between the time I complete my focus sessions and also I leave home to reach the metro station, you should try to minimize this time as much as possible. I know that for many people, especially for people who have kids, this can be very difficult. But I would suggest that try to kind of do things a little more rapidly so that you save upon time, because these small pockets of 15 minutes or 20 minutes can be devoted to some flashcard revision or some kind of revision or some kind of going back to what you have just completed in these 2 hours. So do not take things at ease right now. So try to rush in through your routine, quickly go through your wardrobe, decide what you have to wear, and just quickly do things so that you're not wasting those 15-20 extra time.
Les ramasser. Vous inquiétez pas, ça va. Pouvez-vous tenir le chien pendant que je ramasse les sacs?
Oui, bien sûr. Waouh, vous avez un gros chien. Comment il s'appelle?
C'est une chienne en fait. Elle s'appelle Lottie. C'est un berger allemand et elle a 6 ans. C'est encore un vrai chiot. Elle court toujours partout à chasser les oiseaux et à faire des bêtises.
Ah oui, elle a beaucoup d'énergie. J'ai besoin de mes 2 mains pour la tenir.
Elle est contente d'être à la campagne. Mon mari et moi avons emménagé à Saumur la semaine dernière. De Paris, il y avait de nombreux parcs où Lottie pouvait courir, mais pas comme ici. La ville entière est son terrain de jeu maintenant.
Elle est mignonne. Benjamin est votre mari?
Oui, comment vous savez?
Je lui ai parlé aujourd'hui. Il cherchait de la peinture pour peindre votre cuisine. Je m'appelle Christelle, au fait. Enchantée.
So there's a 15-minute walk between the metro station and my office. So I quickly reach my office, keep my bag, have my cup of coffee, make myself comfortable, reply to some emails, and dive right into my work so that I'm not wasting that time. I feel that coffee breaks and lunch breaks can also be leveraged to squeeze in those 15 extra minutes towards your French studies. For example, tune into a coffee break podcast or any other podcast or any other listening material that you're using in that moment, and then squeeze those 10-15 minutes out of that day. And this really goes a long way in helping you becoming fluent in French. Done for the day. My office work is over. I'm left with 1.5 hours of listening practice, which I'll catch up on in the metro.
Ça fait plaisir de te revoir au café. Vas-y, prends une chaise. Est-ce que tu veux le menu ou tu sais ce que tu veux manger?
Je veux bien ta plus grosse part de gâteau au chocolat, Camille, s'il te plaît.
Bien sûr. Mais tu as dit hier que tu ne mangeais plus de chocolat désormais.
Tu as raison, je ne devrais pas en manger. Je suis au régime et j'essaye de vivre plus sainement, mais c'est si chiant.
This is how these 5 hours of French learning look like on an everyday basis. You just saw that I spent 3 hours listening to French while commuting in the metro, and only 2 hours are spent with deep focus, which I do right at the beginning of the day to ensure that I don't have to wait for it till the night. And this is how you manage your time with your job, right? I was able to complete my work because I was working with focus during my office time. I woke up on time and I also completed that 2 hours of study session on French and used the 3 hours which were kind of getting wasted before in commute time to kind of do my listening practice. And this is why I feel that learning French is not that difficult, because you can simply assimilate that time into your routine. Like you can simply listen to French while doing your morning walk or while walking your dog in the park, and like me, like commuting in the metro. So you don't have to, see that 5 hours of time as something which is studying in the conventional sense of the word, wherein you sit down on a study table and kind of study with books. In fact, something that you must have noticed by now is that when we say study 5 hours, we are not really saying study 5 hours. We are only saying spend time with the French language. And this is the concept that I want to discuss in this video after having discussed the idea of comprehensible input in the first one. So when you're spending time with the language, that is when you're immersing yourself in the language, because you're constantly, giving your brain a lot of input in terms of content, what French sounds like, what French looks like, and that is how your brain starts to identify patterns subconsciously when you start spending time with the language. I really hope this video added some value to your TEF Canada journey, and I'll continue to make more and more videos more frequently as much as possible to help you understand the nuances of your TEF Canada preparation. So this is all for today. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.